Hello, welcome back to my channel, Ascending Luna. And in today's pick a card reading, we're going to be channeling messages as to what new beginnings are opening up for you. What does Spirit want you to know right now? So I compiled 3 different piles here. I got pile 1 with the 39 dragon, pile 2 with number 36 San Pedro cactus, and pile number 3 with the number 9 and Nyx. So I will give you some time to meditate. Anything about me, as long with the timestamps, will be provided down in the description box below. I will see you at your reading, all right? Stamps. Welcome, pile number 1. So you were drawn to the card number 39, Dragon. And I also pre-shuffled some oracle cards that will go with this. So we also got Sadness and Solitude. So definitely an energy right now for you, pile number 1, is that you're going through possibly a dark night of the soul or some sort of hermit mode where you're allowing yourself to grieve and to mourn the things that had brought in a lot of heavy emotions to your heart. Now with the Dragon card, even though you're in this energy, it almost feels like you are being reborn. You're coming out of the ashes of the things that needed to be burnt away from your life to make room and space for a new door to open up for you. With the Solitude card, there is a sense of calmness. I mean, even though it feels like this path that you're taking right now feels heavy, it almost feels at the same time serene, and you've come to terms and come to make peace with this process that you're going through. It almost does feel like you have kind of given up, but it also feels like there is some sense of hope still that resides within you, because a dragon is a very powerful, majestical, magical creature that not only symbolizes strength but also symbolizes renewal, and it can give you the sense of like taking the lead and charging ahead and fighting what it is that you need to fight in order to go on to the next chapter in your life. So at this very moment, pile number 1, it just feels like you are in the thick of this energy, but it almost feels like you're surrendering to it, and you know that there is still something much more better once you rise above whatever this energy is. It does feel a little heavy, but it also feels like calming. Like, it's not like you've not been here before. It almost feels like you're familiar with this emotion, you're familiar with this process. You could possibly going through another spiritual awakening. It could be that you're cutting away dead relationships and dead situations, and you're just going through the motions right now and allowing yourself to grieve. And in this grieving for you, it almost feels like it's uncomfortable, but you're starting to be very comfortable with these emotions. Okay, so I'm gonna pull a little bit more oracle and then some tarot. Okay, so let's see what else. You got Teacher, light attribute, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, and wisdom. Shadow attributes, manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits and destructive skills. So the first word that I heard was balanced here, because she is literally splitting the world in half here. And I also saw the image of an egg hatching, so like a dragon, because dragons they're supposed to hatch from eggs. So it almost feels like you're going through this experience in order for you to give out wisdom. And the dragon also symbolizes wisdom. So you're going through this process. For some of you, Spirit really wants me to acknowledge the fact that you're going through this process in order for you to grow and to lead and to teach others to go through this process as well. So what better way to go through that, through these lessons, than to go within and literally guide yourself out of them? And so it almost feels like you're being a beacon of light for other people through this process, even though you might not feel like you know that yet. Or maybe you are aware of that you are meant to rise above whatever situation is that you're going through, whatever experience that has left you feeling almost at a rock bottom, but knowing that you can actually climb out of whatever hole it is that you're in. And so you're here to teach and to experience certain things in your life in order for you to gain wisdom, in order for you to give that to other individuals in your life. So for some of you, my pile number ones, you are meant to be like light workers, healers. And that's the sucky part, because knowing that sometimes you have to go, not have to, but that you go through certain experiences, and through those experiences you gain a lot of knowledge and a lot of strength, which completely makes sense with the dragon. And instead of allowing yourself to dwell in the things that were created to bring you down, you thrive in it. You thrive and you overcome whatever pain it is that you're overcoming. And so the path that's opening up for you is the path of wisdom, is the path of becoming a leader for other people in your life, for even becoming some sort of beacon of light to a collective energy that really needs it right now, because you're going through some very transformative and enlightenment phase in your life. And even though it does feel like you're carrying the world on your shoulders, it also feels like you're divinely protected by the universe, especially with the dragon, because the dragon also symbolizes protection. So let's see what else. What else does Spirit have to say? You got Mirror. Treat your body like the palace that it is. Let's see what else. And Sun. Paint the sun back into your sky. There's definitely here an energy of aloneness, because in each card there's only one individual here, one individual here, and here. There's definitely here like you're going through some sort of hermit phase where you're trying to find the light within yourself and not trying to find the light outside of yourself. You're not chasing a light outside of yourself. You're chasing a light within yourself. You're trying to find out what it is that you need to essentially heal in order for you to find your true power, to find your true purpose. You definitely know that you are here to provide a higher purpose for a collective group of people. And in order for you to do that, you have to go through things alone. For some of you, you might have gone through many of experiences, even from a very young age, where you had to pull yourself out of very dark places alone. You really didn't have anybody there to guide you or to teach you how to overcome adversities or how to overcome pain. I feel like you were, and I hate to say that, or I don't hate to say it, but it feels like you're very seasoned in pain. You know exactly what it feels like, but you also know how to pull yourself out of it time and time again. So it just feels like there is a sense of exhaustion here for you, pile number one. There definitely is here some sense of exhaustion. Because treat your body like a pile said it is. There's definitely here some need for you to tend to your body. Tend not only to your soul, but to your body. And it's possibly that you might be looking into trying to do a new workout routine or doing things that will ease and comfort your body, because it almost feels like you don't feel like home inside of yourself. Yeah, it almost feels like you're not comfortable within yourself just yet. And you're trying to find some sort of balance here. Some sort of, it's almost like you're self-discovering yourself again when it comes to your self-love and self-worth. And you're starting to realize that in order to do that, you have to tend to your body. You might be a giver to many other people, because teachers, they help a massive group of people, a massive group of individuals. And when you give to other people, you don't give to yourself. And so I feel like that's also main focus in the new doors and the beginnings that are opening up for you, is that you're starting to finally put yourself first and allowing not only your spiritual body, but your body, your physical body, to heal in a proper way, because it almost feels like you've been in survival for a very, very long time. And even though in this seclusion, and even though in the sense of darkness, you know that you have to reach that light. Because if you look at these cards right here, you got a light source here, a light source here, and a light source here, as well with the moon, because it's still a light source. It's reflecting back from the moon, which is perfectly descriptive because you got mirror. You might be the type of person who tells other people, like, you have to take care of yourself, you have to put yourself first, and yet you don't lead that by example, because you don't know how to do that yet. You've been in this giver energy, but you're not giving yourself back. And so Spirit is wanting you to know that it's time for you to get back to that root. And that's probably why you're going through this solitude, this hermit phase right now, because you're finally realizing, hey, I need to tend to me first now. I think you've been going through so many things, and so many things have been presented in your life, that it just finally feels like you're finally coming up for air, and you don't know what to do with it. You don't know how to deal with that, because for so long it almost feels like you've been drowning, and you're so accustomed to that feeling, and now you're suddenly realizing, like, oh, I could swim, I could do things, I can do all these things for myself. I don't have to be in survival mode anymore. So how do I come out of that? How do I thrive in calmness, in stillness? And so it just feels like here that whatever you're going through it in order for you to rise to this very powerful leader here that is meant to bring in not just light for others, but light to yourself. So let's see, what else? Got the World. the Six of Cups, and the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. Definitely closing out cycles, definitely coming to some sort of completion and finding balance again, especially here with the Wheel of Fortune. The Six of Cups talks about childhood, so you might be tending to your inner child. You definitely here with the Teacher and the Six of Cups, it talks about that childlike. So you might be going back to school. You might want to become some sort of teacher, some sort of leader to help individuals, to give others the knowledge that you have given yourself. But there's definitely a sense of completing and ending cycles that no longer align with you, closing those things, tending to your wounds, and actually making medicine out of experiences that you endured growing up, and even so as recently. So I think pile number one, that you feel that you're at the precipice of something much more bigger than you could ever imagine. And it almost feels like you know that the direction of your life is changing, and you're going through with it because you're no longer fighting the purpose that you're meant to live in this life. And the path is opening up for you, and it's like I'm seeing like you're going with the flow of the river and not against it. It almost feels like you've been going against it for so long, and you finally said, okay, I understand. I have to go with the flow of it, not against it. So that's what I got for you, pile number one, and I will see you in another reading. Bye. Hello, pile number two, and welcome to your reading. You were drawn to the number 36 San Pedro Cactus card, along with these other oracles, happiness and adventures. So there's something interesting that I found about this card here, number 36 San Pedro Cactus. The San Pedro Cactus is actually used for ceremonial purposes, spiritual purposes in South America. So it's known as a teacher plant, and it is meant to teach people in a very spiritual sense, but also in a physical healing sense. So it is said that this plant is used to gain access to the spiritual world, to also expand the human consciousness, and it's also for healing not only of the physical, emotional, but the spiritual levels. So I feel with you, pile number two, is that you are expanding your spiritual world. The new path that is opening up for you is a path of bringing in more beautiful experiences that will uplift not only your emotional soul, but your spiritual side as well. So it almost feels like you are coming out of your shelf. You're allowing yourself to come undone and to put your walls down, because the cactus to me as well is a form of protection, because it has all these thorns and it has this hard exterior, and inside it has its life force, which is water. And cactuses grow in very dry, very like barren lands, such as the desert, and yet they still thrive. And so I feel that you have been existing existing almost in a sense of, I heard like autopilot. So like you've been protecting yourself for so long, but there's something about your soul that is yearning to be free and allowing vulnerability to come in. and allowing for different experiences that your soul has been craving. And so I feel that the next chapter and the next path that you're coming into is going to bring a lot of happiness and adventures, because you got these beautiful like orange colors that are really popping out right here. And so to me, it also, I feel like you're working on your self-confidence, which is your solar plex. I feel like you're working on allowing yourself to put your walls down and allowing beautiful things to come in order for you to gain different experiences. I feel like you've almost been kind of like, you almost shelter yourself a little bit. You kind of hesitate from trying new things, going different places, experiencing different experiences. It almost feels like you do the same routine over and over again, and your soul is kind of like saying like, I need to breathe. I need to experience new things. I need to find my source of creativity. I need to expand myself out here. Because this also to me signifies a lot of like heart expansion. It signifies to me like your creativity. So it almost feels like you kind of just shut those things away, and your soul is yearning for those things. And so the path that wants to come in is the path of liberation for your soul, for the things that make you purely happy for you, not for everybody else, not for society. So it definitely feels like you're ready. You're ready for it. Almost like for some reason I saw like somebody jumping off a plane and going skydiving. It almost feels like that's the kind of energy you want right now. That's the kind of energy, like it feels like you want to do these spontaneous big things. Okay, all right, so let's see what else Spirit has to say. I mean, this sounds fun. This sounds fun. Let's see what else. You got two different ones. You got Miser. Light attributes is entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold, delight sharing life riches. Okay. So definitely here, like there's a sense of you wanting to start some, like there's definitely here like you're like, I almost feel like antsy, like you want to start something, like your soul is yearning to create something, to bring in gold, not just in a literal sense, but to bring in beautiful light into your life. Okay, you also got Diligent, which is delights in the arts without having to be a professional, alerts you to the danger of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Definitely heavy energy of creativity here. I feel like you might have some, like for some of you pile number twos, you might have a job, a 9-to-5 job where you just go to work, but it doesn't fill your purpose in a soul level. Or I mean, it might even fill your purpose, but it feels like you're putting yourself in a box, you're putting your creativity in a box, and your spirit is wanting you to look beyond the superficial and create the things that bring in light into your life. Okay, so there's definitely here some sort of like, you might want to travel, you might want to pursue that creative endeavor, or become like an entrepreneur and do something that calls to you when it comes to art form and creativity. Now that doesn't just mean like painting or writing, nothing like that. This could be anything that sparks something in your soul, and your soul is like it's like literally, I feel like I'm being pushed to create something. So you might want to, let's say you're really good at baking and you want to start baking things and selling that because it brings you happiness. You might feel like your love language is creating things that people can indulge and savor. So for some of you, you could be cooks, really great cooks, and you want to do that. For others of you, it could be painting, or it could be writing, it could be literally anything that sparks the creativity and the fire within you. So there's a very heavy on that. And you also got like a sense like right here with like an orange color and green. So I feel there's definitely here an up leveling of your heart chakra and your solar plex chakra. Okay, let's see what else. What else for pile number 2? Okay. Wow. All right, so the first card is morning. The world awaits you. And then you also got voyage. You already have all the answers. Definitely here something about traveling. For some of you, you guys need a vacation. You might need some sort of spiritual retreat, some sort of vacation. With the morning, I feel like here the world awaits you. It almost feels like you're sleeping on yourself a little bit. Like you're sleeping on yourself, and whatever gift it is that you have, whatever talent, whatever it is that you have, that creative juice, the world needs to drink it. And you're sleeping on yourself, and Spirit is saying like, this path is opening up, you gotta take it. There's something that has been nudging at you for quite some time, and it's time for you to start. Whatever this path that you've been thinking about, that you've been sleeping on, Spirit is saying like, hey, it's time. It's time for you to, what is that? Like I heard that sound bite. It's time for your next adventure. How exciting. Okay, yeah, so definitely. You got the 6 of Wands. So definitely here being put in the spotlight. There's something here definitely that you need to create that is going to bring in some sort of recognition, some sort of success for you. You got the 3 of Pentacles. Look at that. Wow. One more. One more, please. And the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is creativity. It oozes creativity. Definitely here, pile number 2s. You are my very extremely creative pile, and you are sleeping on yourself. You are sleeping on yourself. There's something here that you are ready, that you've been hesitating to present to the world. But Spirit and your Spirit team are here. They're telling you like, that's enough to stop sleeping on yourself. You are supported here. You're so supportive, and you're going to get such a beautiful, what's the word I'm looking for? Like you are going to get such recognition and admiration from other people. But the best thing is that you're allowing yourself to be very authentically you. And that's the path that Spirit wants you to walk on. It's how are you going to make space for this? Because you have something to provide the world. You have something to provide to the world, and you're kind of like gatekeeping it a little bit. There's definitely here something that is longing to come out from you. And it almost feels like you might feel like you're not going to be supported, but who cares what anyone else thinks? All that matters is what you think and what sparks your happiness. Because whatever this path is, whatever creative endeavor you're wanting to take, is going to bring in such beautiful, beautiful energy of light. Like, I mean, this is beautiful. I cannot express it enough on how exciting it is. It's like, it's that adrenaline rush when you jump off of an airplane and you're like, you feel alive. And you're not allowing yourself to feel that excitement, that adrenaline, because you're sleeping on yourself here. And your spirit wants you to know, like, you got what it takes to do what it is that you want to do and to do what it is that you love. You are greatly supported, especially with the Three of Pentacles here. You're greatly supported. And it's time to take that leap of faith and be excited about it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that here for you, pile number 2. Best of luck, and I will see you in another reading. Bye. Hello, my pile number 2s. So you were drawn to number 9, the card Nyx. And she is the goddess of the night, of darkness and death. She is of pleasures when it comes to the matters of love, dreams. She is the mother of sleep. And so I feel like you were connected here because those are the things that you're very fascinated with. There's something definitely very mysterious about you, pile number 3. And there's this deep calling for you when it comes to the moon. So it almost feels like you're diving deep in your feminine energy, especially connecting with the moon and the phases of the moon. So let's see what else. I also pulled some oracle along with this card. So you got protection and power. And I'm telling you, pile number 3, this is like very powerful yet very mysterious energy. There's so much black here, like there's so much darkness here. It almost feels here, and not in a bad way. Like, I don't want people to think like, oh, dark, because a lot of people associate dark with, I guess, bad or ooh, like scary. But here it almost feels like you are stepping in to your, like, this beautiful, powerful energy. It's like, it's almost giving like like a phoenix rising from the ashes. It's like you're embracing every aspect of yourself, not only the light aspects of yourself, but as well as the dark aspects of yourself. And it almost feels like there's a power looming in the horizon, and you're stepping into that power, pile number 3. Like, you definitely feel like there is something that is being awakened within you, and the path that you're coming into, you're not resisting it. There's definitely here some sort of feeling like you're not taking anybody's shit anymore. That's the type of energy that I'm getting here. Like, it's giving me like Queen of Swords energy. It's giving very High Priestess energy here. It's that don't F with me type of energy. Like, you're no longer allowing things to fuck with your peace. Okay, that's the type of energy I'm getting. So the path that you're taking and the path that's opening up for you is your own personal power. You're stepping into that personal power energy. You're giving that like boss energy where you're moving into your authentic you, and you're not hiding anything away. You're not dimming yourself. You're stepping into that authentic, powerful being where you're not where you're setting up boundaries, and you're not allowing people to fuck with you. Pretty much, like, that's what I'm getting. Like, you're no longer allowing things to disturb your peace, and you're not allowing mediocre energy into your space. Okay, so very powerful energy here for my pile number 3s. Let's see, what else? We got Messiah, light attribute, serving humanity and humility. Let me pull some more. What else for pile number 3? You got red, forgive. Oh. What else for pile number 3? Tower, unplug, relax for a spell. Definitely here, pile number 3. You have come to some sort of realization that when it comes to individuals, that how they treat you has nothing to do with you. How people have betrayed you has nothing to do with you, and they are only reflecting how they feel about themselves. And so I feel like you're coming into a space of forgiveness, but also a space of putting yourself first. Now, with the Messiah serving humanity, I feel that here you have come into a lot of lessons, and you're ready to serve. Oh my God, I just heard. It's like serve people they're a slice of humble pie. That you're not afraid anymore to say what it is that you need to say when it comes to people who have hurt you in the past. And in some way, you're serving humanity and you're serving people in your existence lessons that they need to learn when it comes to how they treat others. And with this Tower card, unplug and relax for a spell, this is also giving me Tower energy, not because just of the word, but the way that she's standing, and as well as the Hangman energy here, where you have now come into some sort of enlightenment of seeing things from a different perspective. At some point in your life, pile number 3, you might have been jaded by people that you saw things as black and white, that people hurt you because you weren't good enough, for example. And now you're coming into some sort of self-awareness that that's not the case. That the human experience is that you are, everybody's a mirror to one another. Everyone. And you're finally seeing that how somebody treats you has nothing to do with you. And you are now reclaiming back a power that has been within you, has been resigning within you, where you are taking full accountability for your own actions when it comes to how you treat others, and putting people accountable of their actions on how they treat you. And so it almost feels here that you're ready for that season of yourself and the path of yourself where you don't care if you look like the bad person in somebody's story. Not saying that you're going to be treating people like shit. No. What I'm saying is that you might have allowed many experiences and many behaviors from people and places and things, and you allowed things to slide over and over and over again. You could have been an extremely forgiving person when it comes to certain individuals and how they treat you, and that's not happening anymore. It almost feels like you are now stepping into that power where you're like, yeah, you see, this is hurting me. Your behavior is hurting me, and I am responsible for how I react to that behavior, and I'm responsible if I'm going to allow that behavior to continue disturbing my peace. And so you are stepping into that power where people are not going to want to mess with you, and people are going to know how to respect you. You're setting up some boundaries, and you're really protecting your energy. You're really protecting that. You're really protecting your experiences here when it comes to other people. You're reclaiming your power. You're finally seeing yourself as this very strong individual where you don't have to take the behaviors of others or the actions of others, because you have a really big heart, pile number 3. You have an extremely big and forgiving heart. But some people have taken advantage of that. And the path that you are walking in now, and how you're making space for it, is by putting yourself in the driver's seat and not allowing other people to control you and control your feelings towards yourself when it comes to their actions. Because everything outside of you does not matter. Anybody else's opinions are irrelevant. Anybody else's behaviors do not make up who you are. And you're finally coming to that realization that you have to protect yourself, and you have to step into that role of being your own protector, that you don't need anybody else, and you don't need to forgive. You could love someone at a distance, and that person could be not at your level, and you can still love them, and you understand that whatever it is that they need to work on has to do with them, not with you. And you are not here to be a savior for anyone. You're only here to save yourself. You are here to put yourself first. You're not here to save anybody else. It almost feels here too like, for some of you, this is going to be very specific, that you have loved somebody so much and you thought that by pouring and loving and forgiving them was going to somehow change them. And it hasn't. And instead, it has allowed their behavior to diminish your light and make you feel less than, and make you feel like you're not worthy of being loved properly because of their behavior, because of how they treat you. But you're starting to see that that's not the case, that you could literally love somebody and never speak to them again. You could love them for the rest of your life and never speak to them again, because how they behave does not align with you now. And you're putting yourself first, okay? I'm going to pull some tarot. Let's see what else. What else does Spirit have to say? You got the 3 of Pentacles. The 5 of Swords. I'm sorry. Yeah, the 5 of Swords. And the King of Swords. You're definitely here becoming a little bit more analytical and thinking more with your head here, especially with the King of Swords. You're becoming extremely more wiser and finding that balance, like, okay, this is not working for me. This person is not working for me. You're literally with the 5 of Swords. There definitely was here a lot of conflict when it comes to others. And so you're now in this King of Swords energy. Now, hold on. Let me clarify this King of Swords energy before I start opening my mouth. The Sun. Self-explanatory. You're finally seeing the logic in putting your happiness first, in cutting away the things that bring in a lot of conflict, that bring in a lot of hurt. Because the 5 of Swords talks about conflict, and you got the 3 of Pentacles right next to it, which is conflict with others. You have put yourself aside in order to appease the masses, your friendship groups, relationships, like let's say your work, like your coworkers, you have allowed a lot of people, you have allowed a lot of bullshit to slide when it comes to other people and how they treat you, and you're finally seeing like, yeah, that's enough. You're really stepping into that energy where you're going to take your personal power back. You're going to make your happiness your responsibility, and you're not going to allow anybody to get in the way. And you're willing to cut people off. At one point, you were very forgiving. At one point, you were very compassionate. And I'm not saying that you're not now, but you also have come to a rational realization that being compassionate and forgiving doesn't mean allowing people to stay when they're not ready to take accountable for their actions or even bother to participate in changing. Okay? So definitely here, you're stepping into your power, you're protecting your energy, and you're putting yourself first. And I mean, that's beautiful. Like, the path that you're walking into, you're not allowing anybody to be like get in the way anymore. You're stepping into a very, I want to say, very self-discovery energy, very like, and I don't want to, because it's funny because I did mention the Queen of Swords, but then we got the King of Swords with the Sun. So the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords could, especially the Queen of Swords, is typically known as the bitch card in the tarot, but I don't see her in that way. I see as somebody who has the self-respect and the self-love to cut them out of their lives and literally be like, no hard feelings. Don't take this personal anymore. This is about me and knowing my worth and knowing what I want and what I do not want. And I feel like that's the energy that you're trying to embody, but you're not doing it in a very malicious way. You're doing it in a very loving and compassionate way because you know what it is that you want now, and you're not willing to waste your time or anyone else's time when it comes to that. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there for you, pile number 3, and I will see you in another reading. Bye.